All right, welcome to the Lion Show. Welcome to the show. So excited you're here. Today is going to blow your mind. So please pay attention, stick around. Yesterday, the internet was being a pain in my butt, but today we are going to take you to that next level. All about helping people and just having your best life possible. That's what we're going for right now. And just knowing what you're going to learn in today's episode could radically change your life. And that's what we're all about. We're radical around here. Okay. So today we're going to talk about altering your identity. Now, the past few episodes, I've been talking about trying to figure out who you are and knowing yourself, right? And then finding yourself, coming back to the righteous, best version of yourself. Now we're going to talk about upgrading that identity, upgrading your life, and truly becoming the best you that we possibly can be. All right, now why is this so important? And what is the whole idea that I'm talking about? So our identity, who we see ourselves, is basically what it is that we live our life by. It's what we do all the time. How we see ourselves in the world is how we are. So let's just say, right, that we're going to call our identity basically the thermostat, right? So in our lives, when we're expanding, we're contracting, we go up, we make all this money, right? But then our identity says, okay, it's good you have this money, but we identify more as a middle class. So then your money comes back down. And then it's the same way at the bottom, though. When you totally broke, you say, no, we identify more as, having at least $1,000 in our bank account. And we keep going. And in order for us to break out of this constant up and down in our lives and truly just go all out, become the success, live our genius life, be our best version of ourselves, we have to figure out how to raise our identity along with us while we put in the effort, while we do things. A lot of times we set these goals and we identify with these goals. And then as soon as we get the goal, we stop identifying with it. We make all sorts of great moves and good stuff happens. And then we plateau and we slowly, gradually go back down. It happens to people all the time. I'm sure you know quite a few people who made a lot of money and then now are back to where they were, or have not made a lot of money, but then suddenly come into a lot of wealth and then they just drop back to where they were before. It's like the lottery thing, but it all comes back to how we identify with ourselves, with the world, the story that we tell ourselves. See, all successful people don't tell the story of their past, right? That's old news. They're focused on the story of their future, the new story, their new identity of who they're truly going to become and who they were meant to be in this life, in this world. We're going to work on now, going forward, is raising our identity, right? Creating this whole new version of ourselves. And this new version of ourselves is going to be the best version of ourselves. It's who we truly know we can be. And we're going to start identifying as that person, all right? We're no longer going to think about the past. We're strictly going to look forward towards success and forward towards just dominating this life and making sure that it is an incredible journey for us at every turn. Number one to altering your identity and upgrading your life is going to be putting people that are at a higher temperature around you. All right, let me explain. You want to use the power of association. It's like when we were kids, our parents didn't want us hanging around the trouble kids or whatever. They wanted us to be around the ones that were successful, because if we're around the successful kids, our grades will go up, all of our things will go up. And that's the truth in life. Let's say that you want to get in better shape. I guarantee if you start hanging out with people that are just shredded and fit, and you hang out with them every day and you become more associated with people like that, you in turn will become more fit. You'll become shredded as well, because just by being around people like that, your level, like you'll go from like a 70 to an 85 just by hanging out with people that are like 110 all the time. You're going to be able to raise your thermostat. You're going to be able to raise the boat. So if you want to truly figure out how to flip that switch, start hanging out with people that are at that higher temperature. Now, if it's hard for you to find people like that in your town, if it's hard to, be around that, then you have to use your mind and you have to consciously hang out with people that are at that next level, that are above and beyond where you are. Like if you're listening to podcasts, listening to YouTube videos, reading important books, and that's where you are consciously. You're consciously with these giants. You're consciously thinking on that level, being more than you are now. It's going to improve your life as well. Nowhere near as much as hanging out in person, but you have to choose your battles, right? So if you want to become more and you want to raise your identity, right, just knowing these things while you're trying to learn new things in your field or in your area that you're trying to improve is going to drastically improve your success, drastically improve your life, and take you to that next level. Okay, so the power of association is number one if you want to truly build up your identity, truly be more than you are right now. So hang out with people that are on that next level, that make more money. My advice, which is what it is, go to the places during the day where the rich people hang out. Go to the golf club. Go to the hotel bar or the local busy coffee shop. Like these are the areas where people with money, people that are up and above where you are, hang out. Go to the library, maybe not the library, go to the gym. Go to the places where these people are and be genuinely interested in successful people. If you're genuinely interested in successful people, you'll slowly but surely think more like a successful person, become more like a successful person, and eventually be a successful person, especially if you identify that everything you do has success behind it and everything you do is going to be a success. These are important things. Doesn't always work out that way, but it's important to have that identity that you are a successful person. Endeavors that you go in, you make things happen. You're successful. Number two is to just shock your system. Just smash it out of the park. Just hit the ground running and don't look up again. Just put your head down and just buckle up and put your body through a shock of becoming the person you truly want to become. This is all about, like, let's just do fitness because it's easy. Let's say you just have to make a new health change and you have to do it. The way that you're going to first do it is you're going to identify as somebody who is fit, somebody who is healthy. And what you're going to do is you're going to work out like 3 times a day for the next 30 days. You're going to take massive, massive action. And that's what's going to shock your system into your new identity, into your new level of being. All right, let's like really think about this for just a second, right? If we identify as a fit person, as a smart person, funny person, as a lovable person, if we identify and then we take massive action, there is nothing that can stop us in this world from becoming that person. We have to know what action, of course, to become that person, to identify as what we want most in this world, and then we take massive action and we shock our systems. It's going to take us to that next level. It's going to prove that ourselves that we are worthy. This is our new story. This is our new identity. We don't give a shit about who we were last week. This week, we are the boss. We are killing it. We're crushing it, and we're winning, and we're taking no prisoners. This is the system to change your life. First, you have to identify that you want to change your life, and this is who you're going to be, and then you can just shock your system. So the formula for this is you have your identity, right? You put in the effort. From your effort, you will get the results. Your results will then fuel your identity. You will only make the effort that is congruent to you and what your belief and what your worth is, or what you think your worth is, your belief of what your worth is. So you will only make the effort congruent with what you believe your worth is. So you have to put in the effort, but you simultaneously have to be raising your standards, raising the identity of who you are. Then you're going to get some results back. And from those results, you're going to continue to raise your identity, continue to enforce more effort, and you're going to get more results. This is how you can have real change in your life. So identity is key. So many things stem from our identity, from the made-up story that we tell ourselves every day. When we wake up in the morning, we look at our phone so that our ego can say, oh, this is our identity because I have a Facebook account with this name and pictures of me. Like so many things, we need to truly take role of all the things that we identify with. Like, this is me. This is who I am. When in fact, you can be whoever you want. You can identify with whoever you want. And I encourage you to create new personas of who you are, who you're becoming, and who you are going to be. So the next step, after you can first, you have the power of association, you have your shock your system. The third step is going to be drop what is no longer needed in your life. Drop the weight that you're carrying around, the baggage. If it's not serving you anymore in the new version of yourself and your new identity, drop it. It's a ball and chain that you drag around everywhere with you, and you don't need it anymore. Free yourself from the things that don't matter, that aren't pushing you forward. Cut them loose. Don't even think that you're going to go back to them. Just let it go. Let the loop close so that you can move forward with your life, so that you can become more. And you'll have new opportunities and new choices and new things to work on. You can't do all those new things if you're holding on to the old, if you're scared to let it go. So it's very, very important to drop what is no longer needed. Just drop it. And this can be a lot of things, though. It can be old stuff. It can be emotional baggage from past relationships. It can be our feelings on our old bosses and things like that. We carry around all these judgment things, and we need to drop them. We need to open up ourselves to new opportunities. It's like when you're trimming plants. If you cut the dead leaves off, the good and fresh leaves can grow more. They can become bigger. If you just let all the shit grow everywhere, you'll have a bunch of dead leaves and you'll be out of control. Whereas if you keep it pruned and you keep it focused and you keep it thriving, you're going to have much more success in your life. We can only do so many things. And if one of those things that we do is haul around our past life and our past garbage, then we're just holding ourselves back from becoming our best selves. Number 4 is going to be write your new story. It's kind of funny. So many people write books about what they did back in the day. We're constantly thinking about, oh, I've been through these shit. We're telling our war stories, But what we should be using our mental capacity to do is to focus on writing our new. I love this. What if we just woke up every morning and we wrote down the story of what's about to happen? The exciting new tales of our lives. Anything is possible. And it's incredible to empower yourself. Get like super gritty and detailed in like your future Lamborghini you're going to drive or something. Like that doesn't matter. But in your future home you're going to buy, it's going to be on the mountains, on the side of the ocean. And you're going to get there from having your music play everywhere or something. Like you can create your new story though. Instead of thinking about your past and thinking about all the bullshit that happened to you, think about all the new things that you can be, new identities that you can become, new adventures you're going to go on. And I think this is an incredible insight to think about, because if you're writing your new story, right, you're going to have to raise your identity to that vibration, to that new level. And then you're going to identify as your new story instead of identifying as your old story, the old crap. You're going to move forward with your life. You're going to be able to take control of who you are, who you're becoming, and who you are in this world and what happens to you in this world. See, there's so much that we don't know. But one thing that I do know is that if we identify with good things happening, they usually work out. They tend to happen. If we identify with bad things happening to us, bad things will happen. When I was younger, I had some idea in my head that I was going to do a bunch of bad shit, and a bunch of bad shit did happen. I don't know where I got that idea, but I was young and an idiot, and it happens. And then as I grew older, I realized I'm no longer going to identify as somebody who fucks up. I'm going to become someone smart. So I went down this huge rabbit hole of just reading all these books, and I identified as a smarter version of myself. Am I smart? I have no idea. But I identified as someone who read a lot of books, who was very knowledgeable about things. And we can take this forward. Now I identify as a successful businessman with a global show. And what we're doing is we're building ourselves up and we're writing our story of the future, of what's going to happen. This is what life is all about. Life is all about moving forward, seeing the opportunity that's in front of us instead of being stuck in the past or stuck even in the present. Fuck the present. Let's work on tomorrow. Let's put money in our bank account for tomorrow's fun. Let's invest in tomorrow. Let's invest right now so that tomorrow we can have everything that we want. And if you stay on it, if you stay living your best life by doing these things and altering your identity to be the most impressive, successful version of yourself, you're going to get there. It may not be the easiest journey, but you're going to get there. If you stay with it, if you stay consistent, if in your mind, you're constantly figuring out how to raise the thermostat of your identity, of who you are, and constantly keep raising and raising and raising and raising and raising your standards, raising your life's goal, raising who you are, and raising the vibration at which you take on life, you're going to become more. You're going to become something amazing that you don't even know yet. But you could if you started writing your new story. You could if you do what's going on, what I tell you to do in this, episode. So let's just go back over them. Number 1, power of association. Work on meeting people, being around people that are successful. I know it's probably hard with coronavirus, but you can still do Zoom calls and virtual stuff. And you can read lots of books and you become familiar with people's work and how they think. And if you start to think like them, you can start to identify like them and start to be like them. Next is going to be shock your system. I'm going to definitely be doing some shocking stuff to my system. What is tomorrow? Monday? Tuesday. I'm starting a whole nother Onnit 6 challenge. I'm going to work out every single day and just get into the best fitness that I've been in a long time in my life. And I'm very excited about that. So I encourage you to set big goals and shock your system and just go all out for at least 30 days. I think if we focus on anything for 30 days, we'll be able to at least get some damn results, and we'll be able to even change our lives because it'll become more of a habit. It'll become more of who we are and who we see ourselves as a person. And then number 3 is just drop what is no longer needed. There's so many things in my life that I should drop, that I'm stuck in a habit. I repeat over and over and over. I make more money online than I do making stuff for people around here. I could just drop everybody and just make stuff online and really focus on that. And these are things that you have to think about, but it's definitely going to empower you if you just let things go. We're so attached to things sometimes for no reason, absolutely no reason. So drop what is no longer needed. And then number 4 is to write your new story. Write the future of your life and how beautiful it's going to be and how wonderful your life is going to be as you do these things, as you identify as this new person that's blooming inside of you, that's bursting out and is being brought into the real world. And use these tools and these concepts to think about how you're going to change your identity today, how you're going to change your identity tomorrow. What is that going to look like? What's that going to be like for you? I'm excited about it. Raise your thermostat, be more, change your identity. I think my final message is the hippy dippy version, where if you just sit down and you visualize, and when I say visualize, I mean you crystallize this identity, this person in your mind, this new story, and you visualize it, you put all the glitz and glam into your imagination. Like you can see it 360, you can see it playing out, you can see the conversations, you can see the places you'll be. If you start to do that before you go to sleep at the very least, or if you can have it more times, do it twice a day. And I know visualization doesn't just manifest into your life. That's not the real deal. But if you can start to identify in your mind how you would act in your new story, your new life, your new identity, it can be incredibly powerful for anyone. If you identify and you think about what you're going to look like when you have your chiseled 6-pack, right? Or what your show is going to look like when you have a global following, or what your fans are going to act like when they read your book, and all these things. And if you just can put in the little bit of mental effort on top of everything else that it takes to just sit down and visualize your best life, your new story, I think it can be incredibly powerful. And I also think if you do the morning journal, you can start to write your new story every morning. Just write 2 pages of total nonsense about what your new story is going to be like, what your new life is going to be like once things start to change, and then start to take action. Shock your system once you truly have that visualization of what you want your life to be like. Shock your system. Take immediate, intelligent action. All the successful people that I know, they take immediate, intelligent action. And a lot of times it's not even that intelligent. They just take immediate action, but I add that intelligent to have a buffer, instead of doing immediately stupid stuff. All right. Well, I truly appreciate you guys checking this out. Please subscribe, like, and share. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment and smash that like button. Totally helps the algorithm. It's all about engagement. And just share this. Share this with your friends. Share this with your family. This is very, very powerful. If you take what you've heard and what you've learned today and you actually implement them, it could help someone. It could help you. It could change your life. You could identify as someone that I've helped. Change your identity to be someone who's a badass and who has control over their life and is rich, successful, and sober, and whatever else you want. Namaste. Peace.